This is an LB production.
She wants you to meet her on the dance floor and dance away your troubles. Neysa Shaw has a voice that is refreshing and a sound that is smooth. Every song that Neysa sings comes from a life experience. She says she had to grow up fast. Recently, Neysa sat down with me to talk about the ups and downs as she celebrates the release of her second CD, A Day Late, Dollar Short. So let's ride as we talk with Neysa. So, you're from Tatum, Texas, right?
I'm from Tatum, Texas.
Was that also a small town?
Yeah, the population dropped when I left.
minus one.
They felt me. They felt it when I left. They felt it. They felt it.
Describe the city for us.
I mean, it's a small town, very small town. I mean, it's 1,300 people. Population. So,
small.
Yeah, I'm a country girl.
You're a country
girl.
And you've been in Atlanta for 8 years now?
Going on 8 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's life here in ATL?
I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to get acclimated to the space and the people and how everything ran, but it's serving its purpose. I like it. It's an upbeat city. It's a very art-driven city, so I like it.
So 8 years ago, what made you say ATL?
At the time that I came, that's when LaFace and everything was still here, so it still had a really big, I guess, R&B. At that time, I was a diehard R&B singer, so it was really big in R&B and what I felt, I was going to do, and it was far enough away from home to where I felt like I had to grow up, but not so far to where if anything happened or went wrong, I couldn't make that step backwards and go home.
I understand. So, just like most singers, of course, you started singing in the church choir.
Of course.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
What were some of your favorite church songs?
Gosh, most of the church songs that I liked were, I guess, not the mainstream church songs that you sing. I mean, of course, I like His Eyes on the Sparrow, but I'm trying to think of the name of the song, and I love it.
Sing it.
I often wonder why clouds seem to dim the sky, but I search and search, and Steadfast.
Okay.
Sorry, Steadfast.
I'm loving this. When you were a kid, when did you decide that you wanted to be a singer?
It's kind of weird because when I was a kid, I'm true to my sign. I was a big dreamer. I'm a Pisces, so big dreamer. Always had these aspirations of doing something big, whether it was drawing or playing sports or singing. I always sang. Even when I was little, I would make up little songs and even when I was mad at my family, I'd make little songs and oh God, this is first time ever. I had this little song, first song I ever wrote in my life. It was Nobody Loves Me. I cried all day. My sisters hate me.
Oh wow.
Wish they go away.
Oh no.
So I was crazy. I was trying to be crazy then. That's my first song ever. It's going to be on this album and it's going platinum.
Hey, work it out.
Nobody loves me.
We all love you. I love you too. Now, you said you're the youngest of 5 girls.
I'm the youngest of 5 girls.
What was like a typical day in the house?
It's kind of. I mean, it's very eventful. Not a boring day at all. But my dad pretty much raised us. My mom got sick and passed away when I was 8. So from 8. Therefore, my dad raised, 4 girls because there were still 4 of us in the house after when she passed. And I mean, it was a normal house. It really wasn't that bad of bickering, but we're sisters, and that's what we do. So yeah, it happens, but not bad kids. My dad didn't have to worry about anything like that because he kept us too busy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Kept us really busy.
Well, there you go. Now you said when you were 8, you lost your mother. How did that affect you growing up?
I mean, it affected me greatly. It made me to the person that I am today, pretty much. I had to grow up a lot faster than other 8-year-olds. I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. I mean, I still think about her, you know, every day, but I've learned how to cope with it and not to use it as a crutch, but use it to carry me,
right.
You know, instead of leaning on it and harping on it and you know, yeah, I don't use it as a crutch anymore. There was a time there that I used it for a crutch, and it's probably the darkest time that I had.
Well, there you go. Now, as a girl growing up, were there times that you did not feel comfortable with going to your dad to talk about certain things?
We didn't talk. I mean, that's how it was in the house. We didn't talk. He was very much from the old school. I mean, like I said, none of us were by any means bad kids. We all went to school, we all graduated, we all went to college. But there are certain things that I wished, and I actually got to experience it, you know, the last 3 years of his life. And I was just like, wow, why it couldn't have been like that when I was younger. Maybe things would have turned out differently. I wouldn't have had to bump into the walls that I did bump into to try to figure things out. But there wasn't much of a dialogue there, which there is, you know, in a lot of families where the parents are so much older. It wasn't that type of thing, so not much dialogue there.
Your father knew of your natural talent when you were growing up, so he enrolled you into dance lessons and vocal lessons. What was that conversation like?
No voice lessons or anything like that. I just did what I could do, you know, in a choir in high school, and I worked my butt off to try out, and I made it. And fortunately, when I got into dance, it was such a good outlet for me. It kind of stole me from my basketball, from track and everything else, and that's eventually what I went to, you know, college on, was a dance scholarship. So
That's Sam Houston.
Sam Houston, went to Trinity Valley first, and was a dance major at Sam Houston. So.
Cool beans. Now, I've told you before, girl, you can sing.
Ah, thank you.
Your voice is just, to me, it's just so refreshing.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that, you know, the folks in Tatum are just very proud.
They really are. They really are. It's quite. I mean, it's refreshing, but it's also kind of weird, you know, when you go back home and everybody's like, I don't know, it's almost like you're living out everybody's dream. You know, back in high school you had friends who sang, and it's like they're living vicariously through you. So even the ones who didn't sing, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, I had dreams before, now I got kids, and it's just like, I don't know, I guess I'm carrying the torch for a lot of people, so it's really cool.
Are you living your dream?
I am. It's not quite to fruition, but I'm happy with the in-between. And it took a long time to get happy with in-between. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there are days where you're just like, you know, I haven't really done anything, and it's just, I got so much more to do, and it's just overpowering, if I could talk, God, Texan almost came out.
It's coming out.
Overpowering.
Y'all.
And, but at the same time, I've learned to enjoy the in-between time.
There you go.
I'm happy I'm not where I was, not quite where I need to be,
but we're getting there.
I'm in that in-between, so I'm happy with it.
Well, there you go. Now, what have you learned just from being in the business?
I can say I haven't had the pitfalls of a lot of people that I mean, 8 years I've been here, I've run across a lot of artists. I've run across artists who just got signed, who got signed, who didn't quite get signed, who used to be signed. And once again, going back to my mother passing early, I didn't quite fall in the pitfalls that a lot of these kids did. And I think the reason was because I already made my mind up when I moved here that I wasn't going to compromise myself for my talent. It's a strange game. It's not like what people think. And then, you know, I'm independent, and they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them like, God, you know, if only my video was on BET, and they're looking at me like, no. You know, if only I did what you did, I could be getting my full $10 versus $2 off my $10 that we got to split 4 ways. So I'm happy for the time that it took me to get to where I am.
Right.
A lot of growth and a lot of hard work, a lot of tears, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because now I've surrounded myself with a good group of people who realize the dream, and it's, you know, I haven't fallen into those pitfalls, and that's something that I'm very proud of.
Now, you held your second CD release party a day late, dollar short.
Yes.
Back at home in Taylor.
Yeah.
What was the reaction?
It was really, really, really good. I was really happy with the turnout. The next show that we go back home to do, I expect a much larger turnout, but it was awesome. It was the first time that we took the show on the road, and I went home, of course, and it was a good learning experience. We did it at the Mod Cobb Center there in Longview. Good learning experience, and I mean, it just turned out perfect. It really did. And everybody who I surrounded myself with helped so much, and I could have did it without them. And it was awesome. And the next show is going to be even larger and greater. And it's I can't wait.
We're gonna reach for the stars, not the sky. Reach for the stars.
Yeah.
Now, how would you describe your music, though?
The old music or the new music?
That's the new one.
Even with Day Late Dollar Short is what we're pushing now. I don't consider myself just an R&B singer anymore. I've opened up quite immensely, and I've learned quite a lot in my 8 years, and I've done and stretched my range so far to even places I didn't think I could do, or do things that I didn't think I could. So my music, I just make music.
Congratulations on winning the 9th annual IMA Award. Being nominated, when you're proud.
I actually am, and I know this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but Michael told me, he's like, yeah, you've been nominated for Independent Music Awards, and I was like,
now, who is Michael? So you know.
Michael is my producer here at Hit 'Em Hard, and he's wonderful talent. And I didn't know it was as big as it was until I got into it, and thank you guys for doing that, picking me, and it feels good.
Well, congratulations. That's good news. Now, I know your birthday is coming up on the 27th, right? Now, I went shopping.
Did you really?
Yeah, here in ATL, I went shopping. Went to Lenox, and I was told that your favorite store is Bath and Body Works.
Yes.
So this is the perfect picture. This is, I forgot the scent of this. Oh, white citrus. You have that one? Yes. Well, here, now you have some more. Now, in LB, pick this one out. Which one is this one? I forgot. Moonlight Path.
I love Moonlight Path.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm so easy to please when it. Oh, and I have a nail file. This and socks. I love funny socks. I would show you my socks, but Michael might get mad at me. So I want to act like I have home training and not stick my foot in the
Oh, girl, please. That's quite all right. But no, UK, and I have my passport ready. I want some stamps. So
yes.
I want some stamps.
Yes, Germany. I'm coming back to you. I love you guys and everybody else, and I just thank everybody for the blessing and helping to make this dream.
You are blessed, and God has continued to bless you. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you later.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see you still come to the coffee shop where you and I used to stop by each and every day.
Hey guys, for more information on Neysa Shaw, go to Facebook and look her up, Neysa Shaw, and also on www.neysashaw.com.